Chapter 3: The Fall of Ethics. The following week was a mix of euphoria and anxiety for Marcus. The kiss he shared with Marissa echoed in his mind, a constant reminder that made him feel alive but also plunged him into a sea of guilt. He found himself caught in an internal battle, torn between desire and the responsibility he felt toward his wife. At the office, things seemed normal, but the tension between Marcus and Marissa was undeniable. Every glance, every gesture held a hidden meaning, as if they existed in a parallel universe where the real world didn't matter. During meetings, Marcus tried to focus, but his mind often wandered to the moments they had shared. The fleeting glances grew more frequent, and the tension in the air intensified with each passing day. One afternoon, while reviewing a case in the conference room, Marissa leaned closer to him, their hands almost touching. "Are you okay?" she asked softly. "You seem distracted." "Just thinking about what we're doing," he replied honestly. "It's not fair to anyone." She sighed, her expression turning more serious. "I know. But I can't help what I feel. And neither can you." Marcus felt the weight of her words. "That's true. But what do we do about it? We can't stay stuck in this limbo." "We need to be discreet," Marissa suggested, determination in her gaze. "But at the same time, we can't ignore what we have." Their conversation was interrupted by a client's call, and Marcus excused himself quickly, but not before noticing the frustration building up in Marissa. Day-to-day office life went on, but their emotional connection only grew stronger. They were standing on the edge of a precipice, and Marcus knew the fall could be devastating. That evening, after an exhausting day, Marcus found himself at home, sitting at the dinner table with his wife, Anna. She was talking about her plans for the weekend, but he could barely pay attention. The image of Marissa and the memory of her touch still burned in his mind. He nodded and smiled, but he felt himself pulling away from Anna, as if an invisible wall had formed between them. "Are you thinking about something?" Anna asked, concern in her eyes. "No, just tired," he answered quickly, trying to hide the truth. But her expression suggested she wasn't convinced. "If you need anything, you know you can talk to me," Anna said, her voice tinged with worry. Marcus nodded, but inside, a storm was brewing. In the days that followed, Marcus and Marissa continued to meet in secret. They sought out new places to meet, from quiet cafes to secluded parks. Each encounter was a mix of passion and adrenaline, but the reality of their lives loomed over them like a shadow. One afternoon, after an especially intense meeting, Marcus and Marissa sat on a park bench, watching the leaves fall. The air was crisp, and the atmosphere seemed perfect, but the tension between them was almost unbearable. "I can't keep doing this," Marcus said, breaking the silence. "I feel like we're putting ourselves in danger." Marissa looked at him, her expression a mix of frustration and sadness. "I know this is complicated, but I can't forget what we have. It's real for me." "It's real, but it's wrong," he replied, guilt weighing on his words. "I have a family, Marissa. This isn't just an affair." She hesitated for a moment, her gaze lost on the horizon. "Do you think this is easy for me? I'm not just someone you're having an affair with. I want something more. I want to be part of your life." Marcus's heart sank. He knew what he was doing was wrong, but he couldn't deny the intensity of his feelings. "I want more too, but I can't just leave everything behind. Not now." Their conversation grew more heated, brimming with repressed emotions. Marcus realized they were nearing a breaking point, where unspoken truths would have to be confronted. They parted ways, but the tension between them didn't ease. If anything, it seemed to grow stronger with each passing day. That night, when Marcus got home, he found Anna sitting on the couch, looking more anxious than usual. "Can we talk?" she asked, her voice trembling. "Of course," he replied, his heart racing. He knew something was wrong. "I've been feeling like you're distant," Anna began, concern etched in her expression. "Are you okay? Is there something you want to tell me?" The question caught him off guard, and Marcus felt a lump in his throat. "I'm fine. Just busy with work." "You're not being honest with me," Anna said, frustration creeping into her tone. "I know you. You can always talk to me." He hesitated, struggling against the urge to open up. But the thought of losing Anna terrified him. I'm just going through a tough time at work. That's all." She nodded, but her expression showed she wasn't convinced. "If you need help, I'm here. I don't want you carrying this burden alone." The conversation ended in an uncomfortable silence, and Marcus retreated to the bedroom, the weight of guilt crushing him. He knew he was on the verge of crossing a line that couldn't be undone, and the thought terrified him. But the pull toward Marissa was undeniable, and he found himself caught in a cycle of desire and hope. In the days that followed, the pressure mounted. Marissa and Marcus continued to arrange secret meetings, but each moment together seemed laden with deeper meaning. They were aware they were treading a dangerous path, and the adrenaline of the situation only heightened the passion they shared. One night, while they were together in a discreet hotel, the atmosphere was charged with emotion. The room was dimly lit, with soft lights and music playing in the background, creating an intimate ambience. "Have you been thinking about what we're doing?" Marissa asked, breaking the silence. "Yes, and it's hard," he replied, his expression serious. "I don't want to hurt anyone, but I can't deny what I feel for you." She moved closer, the intensity in her eyes unmistakable. "What if this is something real? Can we find a way to make it work?" Marcus hesitated, his internal struggle deepening. "I don't know if I can leave everything behind. My life is complicated." "But you can't keep living this lie either," she insisted, passion clear in her voice. "We need to decide what we truly want." The climax of the conversation led to an explosive moment of tension, where passion and desire collided in a fiery kiss. It was a kiss filled with unspoken promises and a future they both knew was uncertain. But in that moment, all that mattered was the connection they shared. As the night went on, Marcus felt torn between what he desired and what he knew was right. This relationship was becoming a trap, and he felt the fall was inevitable. Like a distant echo, he realized he was about to cross the line of ethics, and the thought terrified him. But the passion burning between him and Marissa was undeniable, and he knew he could lose himself completely at any moment. To be continued.